Reviews for the GiveSI campaign. We are many hours into our campaign, and I know in the next few hours we're going to be sharing that updated number. We're really excited to do that. But in the meantime, we have another Facebook Live interview with someone who is a great friend of the Community Foundation and has been participating in GiveSI, and we're so thankful that she takes the time out to explain a little bit about what the SI Food Pantry Network does and the impact that it has in the community. So I'll turn it over to you, Toni.
Well, thank you so much. And yes, we've been a part of the GiveSI campaign since its inaugural year, and we've been excited about that. We're a relatively new nonprofit organization. The Southern Illinois Food Pantry Network covers the lower 16 counties of Southern Illinois, representing about 95 food pantries, trying to reach 45,000 Southern Illinoisans that struggle with having enough food to eat. This year with the GiveSI campaign, we will be using the funds that are raised to support our Southern Illinois Hunters for the Hungry project. And so with that project, this will be the second year of that project. We are paying 6 area meat processors to ground donated deer into ground venison. And then that will in turn be donated to our local food pantries across the region.
How amazingly unique is that? So I see you have a little flyer here. Let me see that. I'm gonna pull this up. I don't know if I can do this, but look at that. That's pretty amazing.
The really great thing is, in food pantries, most people don't get to see or choose meat products. So this kind of brings that full circle because it helps all of the processors in our region, and then you are able to get some of that meat in the freezers of people who really need it.
Absolutely. Venison is actually a very high quality, very lean protein source. And like you said, many of our food pantries really struggle with having a variety of protein sources available. So ground venison ends up costing us about $2 a pound, which is relatively inexpensive. So we thank the hunters that are willing to enjoy the sport, but don't have use for the meat, and then donate that to, again, our 6 local meat processors that we're working with to have that then shared with our local food pantries.
And it looks like I am not an avid hunter, but I love the fact that you're choosing local processors. So you have Triple C Meats in Anna, Shirley Farms Meat Processing, DeSoto, Sanchez Meat Processing, DeCoin, R&M Meat Processing, Ellis Grove, Berkner's Processing, McLeansboro, and Webb's Meat Processing in West Frankfort. Also different counties, different all over to help. That is amazing.
Yeah, and we're limited in our number of processors that are available, and we've worked really hard to, again, reach that whole 16-county region. So there will be some of that meat that is coming from 2 other areas of our region. But yeah, last year we only worked with 3 meat processors. We only were able to do 25 deer. This year we've already committed to 80 deer, and we hope with GiveSI campaign we can get over 1,000 deer by the end of the hunting season.
Wow.
So we're really gearing up for, this is the last shotgun season coming up. So hopefully we can commit more of our GiveSI funds to get us over that 100 deer mark for this year.
So I want to back up for just a moment and have you talk about or touch on, and I know you did briefly, on the Food Pantry Network and how critical that is. 95 food pantries in Southern Illinois. What is the impact being able to work with them, and what is the value of bringing all of them together in one network?
Awesome question. 5 years ago when our network started, we have some very small pantries in very rural communities, supported by elderly retired individuals just really trying to do good for their families. And then we have Salvation Army or Victory Dream Center or some of those other larger organizations that have other additional capacity. They're not only a food pantry, they do lots of other services and have bigger capacity. And so what the network really aims to do is to bring those larger food pantries and those smaller food pantries together to be able to network, to share ideas, to find ways to more efficiently and to better serve their communities, whether that increasing access to food, increasing access to cold storage. One of our very first initiatives when we put the network together was when we surveyed our pantries, they said they didn't have enough cold storage to offer healthier food options. And so we did a whole campaign on increasing cold storage. So again, if we have cold storage, then we can have fresh meat or frozen meat or fresh vegetables and fruits. And so again, we just really worked hard to bring all of our food pantries together. We do quarterly meetings, we should have a listserv, just so we're in constant communication with our pantries to just share ideas and resources, whether that's grants or print materials or nutrition education. I'm just looking for opportunities to, again, meet the food access needs of our community.
Well, I can tell you that I'm 100% in support of this, because these little critters right here, I see all over Carterville, and I'm all for controlling the population, the deer population.
We're going to get some phone calls.
I hope they don't have, we don't want to mess with the pets, but I think this is great. And I always love unique and different, because sometimes there's just so much of the same thing. So for you guys to like, hey, support hunters, especially ones that just want to go out and enjoy the sport, but provide something good, and then supporting local businesses. And on top of that, providing food for some of these pantries is absolutely amazing. It actually doesn't make me want to go get a shotgun, but pretty close. You know, I just think it's absolutely unique and different, and I applaud you guys for coming up with this. So how did the first year go?
So we worked with 3 processors,
right,
and 4 food pantries received meat. It was just over 1,000 pounds of meat that we were able to donate. And it was from 23 deer, I think, was our final number. So this year we've already committed with our processors $8,000 for 80 deer. It's $100 per deer with each of our meat processors. And so that should translate somewhere around 6,000 pounds of meat going into local food pantries.
What was the feedback from the food pantries and the people that were going? Because this isn't something you normally go to the food pantry and get is deer meat. What was the feedback on that?
A lot of excitement, very positive feedback. We do have some recipes that we do share, but most of them like, I don't need copies of the recipes. We'll just shoot them to the website. Because most of people in Southern Illinois are familiar with ground venison and enjoy it. A lot of our pantries asked, would you like venison? And 90% of the time, families were saying, yes, please.
You know, it's the one that I've used venison the most for is in spaghetti sauce. That's my number one go-to. You a venison fan?
I am not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, but not because I'm just completely opposed to it. But
right.
I think it's good if it's mixed with something else. But I know I have friends, they know who they are if they're watching, who have tricked me.
And you still know?
I liked it.
Oh!
So it's really more in my head than anything.
Right.
And I know that. And I can admit that.
So Toni, do you have a favorite recipe?
Great. Taco soup is great.
Oh.
Chili is great.
Oh, chili. I forgot about chili.
Spaghetti, lots of casseroles, and again, adding additional spices or flavorings can really enhance the gaminess if you feel there's that flavor to it.
You know, that the gaminess you talk about, when you don't taste that in hamburger, that's because it's all the chemicals in the processing, which you're against. I know this. So just saying, the reason it doesn't taste that way is because they're putting all that stuff in. So
I'm really quite a confused person when it comes to things like that.
Right. But I think, again, I applaud you guys for being unique and different and providing these resources and using a natural resource in our area.
So, for hunters that are interested in donating their deer, it has to be a field dressed deer. It cannot be a car killed deer. It has to be, a hunted, harvested.
Now, I can help you with that. My Jeep is 2.0. So I wish
So the deer needs to be field dressed and then taken to one of the pantries on our list.
That's it's amazing, and it's just great.
So really, we're talking about the ability for someone to donate $100, right? And that's going to go directly during the GiveSI program to providing that meat to a food pantry, who's then directly going to give that to one of its recipients.
Yeah, 100% of the funds that we receive through GiveSI will be toward the Hunters for the Hungry project. And other states have statewide projects, and Illinois is one of those states that does not have a statewide system in place for a program like this. And so there's a couple other projects happening across the state to support pantries and trying to do some advocacy and some policy work to maybe make a change. But again, just starting local grassroots. So we'll build upon last year's success and hopefully continue to have greater success next year as well. And we continue to support through the Food Pantry Network healthy food drives and community health screening events, and lots of other ways to improve healthy food access to our food pantries across Southern Illinois.
So there's a couple of ways, everybody, that you can help out here. You can donate. We're looking for $100 for deer processing. Hopefully you can get this out, but this is a great flyer that they've created. You can also donate your field dressed deer. You can reach Toni. Toni, how do they get a hold of you?
My phone number is 618-993-3304.
Excellent. And so all you got to do, 3 easy steps: scroll down, click the link, and then you're going to go to, let's see what we have them under, SI Food Pantry Network, or you can scroll down, or you can actually search SI Food Pantry Network and go there. Toni, thank you for coming in today. Good luck.
Thank you so much for hosting. I know it's a lot of work for both of you, so we appreciate it.
And if the rules ever change about the non-field dressed deer, let me know. I can definitely help you out with that.